no place like Golden Corral.
Live from your 24-hour news source, here's the latest from Wish TV.
A police officer recovering.
The prayers were enormous, and God granted a miracle for us.
Jason Fishburn's father and doctor talk about the progress he's made after being shot in the head. Crime-fighting effort.
Sheriff's Department, open the door!
24-hour News 8 follows a sweep to get suspects off the street. Stadium damage. For the first time, cameras are allowed inside to see the water problem. GM's troubles. The latest cuts at the automaker and what it may mean for Indianapolis workers.
This is 24-hour News 8 at 6 on Wish TV, your 24-hour news source.
Good evening. There is a hopeful prognosis for the officer shot in the head last week.
Jason Fishburn's doctor reports signs of improvement. 24-hour News 8's Gene Rodriguez has more on what Officer Fishburn's family calls answered prayers.
Jason Fishburn's doctor, family, and city leaders gathered for some good news.
Thanks to my God. For allowing this miracle to happen.
He opens his eyes on his own, and he moves his left side very purposefully. So he's made a considerable improvement.
Jason remains in critical condition and on a ventilator, but his doctor is lowering his sedation meds.
Make sure I always tell the family, you know, we're still ill in the intensive care unit, and there's a lot of issues. I would try to hide my elation that I'm incredibly pleased at how well he's doing so far.
Meantime, the father of the man who police say shot Fishburn was in court. Prosecutors say Paul Reese played an active role in the robbery and murder of Clifford Haddox July 6th. They say Paul's son, Brian Reese, fired the shots that killed Haddox. Both now face murder, robbery, and burglary charges. Brian's girlfriend, Lana Bishop, is charged for her alleged involvement in the burglary. A judge moved Paul and Lana's cases to the same courtroom as Brian's. Prosecutors are counting on Lana to testify against Brian, the father of her baby.
I anticipate that my client would most definitely cooperate with the authorities. It's a tragic situation.
And all of them are back in court tomorrow morning, including Brian's mother, Barbara Reese, who was jailed on charges related to the police chase that ended in the shooting of Officer Jason Fishburn. Friday, IMPD will honor Jason Fishburn's Academy class for 5 years of service. The ceremony will be at Wishart Hospital, and Jason's family will accept his award. Debbie?
All right, thank you, Gene. Well, today, police saturated the area of town in which Officer Fishburn was shot. Tonight, IT Mate's Pam Elliott tells you about a warrant sweep that had officers thinking differently because of recent events. Pam.
Well, Debbie, the Marion Superior Court says there are more than 32,000 warrants to be served to accused criminals in this county, and the crimes range from skipping court to murder.
Public nudity.
You might wonder why someone wanted for public nudity would draw so many officers. But these men and women are out to find anyone who's broken the law and made this a broken neighborhood.
Sheriff's Department, open the door!
This is the same area of town in which Officer Jason Fishburn was shot last week, serving a warrant.
I think it changes the mindset of all police officers. It's a wake-up call for them, I think. I'd have to say.
You personally?
Yeah, I think it makes us double think of how we're doing things.
But Metro Police Chief Mike Spears wants you to see that officers continue to knock on doors, trying to bring people into custody who have yet to pay for their crimes.
My opinion is that some of those individuals may feel empowered to commit even greater offenses.
Child solicitation.
When deputies arrived at the home where this man was hiding, they were warned of a vicious dog.
What they'll do, they'll say, we putting the dog up. We have a vicious dog in here, which distract us. They'll think it'll distract us as if we're going to go and not search this room. It's the oldest trick in the book. We're coming back to the room.
Mindy Gray was glad to see the police presence in her neighborhood, but too scared to let her children come out of their home.
You never know who the person is when they walk down your street. You never know.
IMPD says the SWAT team was in the ready during the warrant sweep because of what happened to Officer Fishburn, and that will continue to be the case. Eric?
All right, thank you, Pam. Well, we had a chance to look inside the new stadium to see the damage drainage caused last week and over the weekend. Officials say the water damage won't delay the opening, which is scheduled in just over a month. 24-Hour News 8's Jay Hermasinski joins us now live from the new stadium. Jay.
Eric, 3 of the 4 main drainage lines failed during last Monday's storm, and then 2 of those drainage lines failed a second time last Saturday. Let's take a look inside the stadium. The majority of the damage is in the southwest corner. Missing seal tiles and a lack of light are 2 signs of the water damage. Rainwater washed through the area and shorted out the electrical closet as well as the telecommunications area. The elevators and lights no longer work. Crews have to rewire everything. And why the drainage pipes failed is still under investigation. The first order of business for now is to eliminate any chances of further flooding should another rainstorm
hit. We put some pumps up in the gutters so we can relieve some of the water from going into the system and take it over the side of the building. So we've got some temporary measures in place that will alleviate the amount of water that can get into it while the rest of the bracing is being installed.
Now here's what the main bowl area looks like. The turf is going down. Crews were testing the new scoreboards. The 2 main boards are 90 feet in length, and then you have what are called ribbon boards that wrap around the bowl. None of that was damaged during the rainstorms. All of that is fine, construction on schedule. The bottom line here is the damage will be fixed. The stadium, we're told, will open on time, and insurance will cover the bulk of the cost to repair all the damage. Reporting live downtown, Jay Hermasinski, 24-Hour News 8.
All right, thank you, Jay. Peyton Manning hopes to recover from surgery in time for the Colts' first regular season game at the new stadium. A closer look at the type of surgery doctors performed in just a few minutes.
All new at 6 o'clock, General Motors executives announced today a major restructuring that cuts costs and hopefully boosts its bottom line. As 24-Hour News 8 anchor Deanna Dewberry tells us now, the company's dramatic steps signal the severity of its money woes.
The country's current mortgage mess is worsening what were already tough times for chronically cash-strapped General Motors.
We have the mortgage crisis. We have the banking crisis right now. There's a credit crunch in this country. You can't get money. And GM is saying, we are powerful, we are big, we are GM, and we can't get money either.
Large sport utilities, large trucks, large trucks.
Historically, these gas guzzlers were GM's bread and butter. Now consumers aren't buying trucks, and the company's stock price is plummeting. GM's money woes are so bad it's being forced to suspend its dividend. That's the profit dispensed to shareholders. And many of the shareholders of this blue chip company are older retirees.
Mom and pop have retired. They're living off of their dividend from General Motors. And General Motors just eliminated their dividend.
University of Indianapolis business professor Matt Will predicts a ripple effect felt nationwide and certainly here at home. These workers at GM's Indianapolis plant learned Tuesday morning that salaried retirees will lose insurance benefits at 65, and the company is cutting 20% of salaried cash costs, which could mean job cuts. No one knows yet if or when Hoosier GM workers will get pink slips, but then for these folks, living with uncertainty is nothing new.
Oh, I mean, it's the same stuff that's been going on for years, so I mean, so I don't know what to say. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. It's just one more day at General Motors, right?
Come to work today, and that's the first thing we heard, you know, they was in trouble. So we just have to wait and see what happens.
Deanna Dewberry, 24-Hour News 8.
24-Hour News 8 has learned that a compromise is in the works in the effort to bring back the Weir-Cook name to Indianapolis International Airport. We broke this exclusive story on WishTV.com. Sources tell us the road from I-70 to the new airport terminal will be named Colonel Weir-Cook Memorial Drive. In addition, the building itself will be named the Weir-Cook Terminal Building. The compromise makes it possible to honor the Hoosier native who was a World War I and II flying ace while preserving the identity of the airport.
I think it'd be a good idea. A little sense of history with the community.
The Airport Authority Board still has to approve the changes. It's expected to vote at Friday's regularly scheduled meeting of the Airport Authority.
Peyton Manning under the knife for knee surgery. I'm Leslie Olson. A knee specialist explains the operation and Manning's likely recovery.
money race. I'm Jim Shella at the State House. How much the candidates for governor are raising and how much they're spending.
New tonight at 10 on MyNDY Channel 23. The police officer dragged 2,000 feet by a suspect during a traffic stop. Talks about his ordeal. Plus, an offender on the run. These stories and more tonight at 10.
Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak, 5 a.m.
Forecast day Viper does show rain coming in.
We have a big jam on Interstate 69.
24-hour News 8 is live at the scene right now.
Wish TV's Daybreak. It's what you need to start your day. Only on your 24-hour news source.
If you have Chase Checking, your debit card earns you free rewards points. Introducing Chase Exclusives. Free debit rewards. Because getting more matters. Chase what matters. If you have Chase Checking, you now get an exclusive discount on a Chase home mortgage. Introducing Chase Exclusives. Bigger discounts. Because getting more matters. Chase what matters.
You know, Colts fans are nervous about the news that superstar quarterback Peyton Manning had knee surgery on Monday. But an orthopedic surgeon told 24-hour News 8's Leslie Olson the surgery wasn't serious and Manning should be in fine form soon.
Ethan, tell me what happened playing the basketball game.
13-year-old Ethan Hawley broke his leg playing basketball. Orthopedic specialist Dr. Corey Kendall suspects Ethan's injury is probably more serious than the injury Ethan's idol, Colts quarterback Peyton Manning, is being treated for.
I hope he gets to play for next season.
Get back here on the field. The Colts released a statement Monday saying Manning underwent surgery to remove an infected bursa from his left knee. Bursas are small fluid sacs throughout the body that help cushion joints.
The surgery itself entails a small incision on the front of the knee where any infected appearing tissue as well as the bursa is excised.
Dr. Kendall is not Manning's doctor, but he formerly worked with the Atlanta Falcons. He says the injury is not uncommon for people who do repetitive knee motions. He suspects Manning is being treated with antibiotics and will wear a brace for about a week.
Essentially, as soon as the skin is healed, his pain is reduced and his muscle tone is back to its normal level. He can return to his normal activities.
According to the statement, the Colts believe Manning should be back in time for the first regular season game on September 7th, if not before. Dr. Kendall says that seems very realistic.
I think that's very conceivable, yeah. I think it's, in fact, more than that, I think it's likely that he would be back playing by then.
Unfortunately, the news is not as promising for Ethan. He may be watching his favorite team with a cast on, at least during the preseason. Leslie Olson, 24-hour News 8.
Money stolen from a cemetery trust fund. New arrests made in the case.
Summer heat across central Indiana. A live view of some slow traffic along Interstate 69. More on the heat and ozone action day. Straight ahead.
The Dodge $299 Gas Guarantee Plus ends soon.
Right now, when you buy or lease most Dodge vehicles, you'll pay just $2.99 a gallon for gas or diesel in each of the next 3 years for up to the first 12,000 miles per year.
Plus, get $3,000 bonus cash allowance on Ram 1500.
And I get a lifetime powertrain warranty.
Get the Gas Guarantee, plus up to $3,000 bonus cash allowance on select models, plus the best warranty in the business. Hurry, because an offer like this is too good to last.
We are a beacon of light around the world. At least that's
your appetite. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
New at 6 o'clock, fundraising numbers made public today show Republican Mitch Daniels with a considerable advantage in the race for governor. 24-hour News 8's Jim Shella reports, however, that Democrat Jill Long Thompson's fundraising picked up dramatically after a win in the May primary.
Democrat Jill Long Thompson will never catch Republican Mitch Daniels when it comes to fundraising. Reports for the period ending June 30th show Daniels with $2.8 million in the bank and Long Thompson with just $1 million. But that was the benchmark she tried to hit.
Our fundraising goal was to have 7 figures cash on hand, which we exceeded.
Out here is a great place to think about the future.
While the Daniels campaign argues that it would show a bigger bank balance except for the pre-purchase of TV ad time through the end of August, campaign manager Eric Holcomb acknowledges that the money race is competitive.
We fully expected her to have substantial out-of-state special interest support, and that's what we've seen on her report to date.
The numbers for second quarter fundraising add further insight. Daniels raised $1.8 million, while Long Thompson is close behind with $1.6 million.
The fact that he spent $10 million already on his reelection and is struggling to show good numbers and show momentum is really the issue here.
Yet Mitch Daniels spent almost $18 million to win the governor's seat 4 years ago and plans to spend more this time.
We don't have a mark set, but we'll have as much as we need.
Both sides add spin to the numbers because Jill Long Thompson relied heavily on two donors who contributed about half of her money. They are the union known as SEIU and Emily's List, a national group that supports women candidates. That caused the Daniels campaign to point out that most of its money came from Indiana. The Long Thompson campaign counters that most of its donations come from in-state. Eric?
All right, thank you, Jim. A grand jury indicted 3 people accused of helping a couple take money from a cemetery trust fund. This involves the Memory Gardens case. David Becker, Sherry Katzcrank, and Mark Singer are charged with helping the cemetery's owners steal over $24 million from money set in a fund to care for grave sites. Investigators arrested Robert and Deborah Nelms in January. Prosecutors say the two bought the cemetery, then took millions out of the fund, including money used to buy a $1.2 million home. Prosecutor says the money taken cannot be tracked down.
Acting Chief Brian Sanford is now the permanent chief of the Indianapolis Fire Department. Mayor Greg Ballard named Sanford to the position. Sanford formerly served as the Warren Township Fire Chief before consolidation with IFD.
Mayor Greg Ballard issued an executive order to require the city to use veteran-owned businesses. The order says 3% of all businesses contracted by the city must be with a veteran-owned company. The department that monitors contracts with minority and women-owned businesses will now also oversee this program.
And we want to take a moment to congratulate Anthony Calhoun. Today, the governor honored AC with an award as part of Indiana Black Expo's summer celebration. He was in pretty impressive company today, receiving the governor's award. AC took the stage with others in the sports world, including the Fever's Tamika Catchings and the Colts' Tarek Glenn. So congratulations to AC.
And he's just as humble as ever.
I was going to say, he kept this one quiet because I had no idea.
I know, he's pretty low-key on this.
That's pretty good.
We'll hear about it later.
Oh, I'm sure. What do you want to tell us about?
Well, we're going to hear about lots of heat over the next couple of days. We head outside live over the city of Indianapolis. Sunshine and a few fair weather clouds. It will become hazier the next few afternoons. 83 right now. Winds are south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Heat index not really a factor at 85. That will change also over the next couple of days. Today's high 86. Our low this morning 64 degrees. Made it to 90 in Kokomo this afternoon. 89 in Lafayette and in Terre Haute. 85 in Bloomington. More heat tomorrow across the region. Temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. 89 degrees in Indianapolis. 91 in Chicago. For Thursday afternoon, the heat continues. Chicago 93. Indianapolis 90, Evansville 92. So summer heat builds across the eastern half of the nation. The jet stream or the storm track stays to the north. That means we're not going to get any relief in the way of precipitation the next few afternoons as that storm track stays north. High pressure at the surface will mean plenty of clear skies tonight and lots of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. There is a weak cold front that will produce a few showers and storms tonight across the northern Great Lakes. It heads east, but another one quickly follows. That will keep parts of the Great Lakes and the northern plain states a little unsettled the next few afternoons. For us, high pressure doesn't budge. This means more sunshine and more heat. We notice a bit of a change as the storms make a move a little farther south into parts of Iowa. That may in turn change our weather pattern for Friday and the weekend as storm chances will increase for us on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly clear and warm, a low of 67 tonight. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon into the upper 80s and low 90s. If you don't get 90 tomorrow, you will on Thursday. By the way, tomorrow is a no-zone action day, so cut down on those short trips and wait to mow the lawn or fill up the gas tank until after 6 p.m. 90 Thursday, 91 Friday. Heat continues, but storm chances Saturday and Sunday.
Well, some of the Pacers' new draft picks were in town today. Up next, we'll meet them and get their thoughts on playing for the blue and gold.
Every woman should hear Jody's story. Jody was always healthy.
Her pap was always normal. Still, I recommended she also get the HPV test. Her pap looked fine. The HPV test showed
She had the virus that could cause cervical cancer.
most HPV infections don't cause problems, but another exam confirmed she had cervical disease.
But Jody's story has a happy ending.
We caught it before it became cancer. So if you're 30 or over, make sure you get the HPV test along with your pap.
The Digene HPV test from QIAGEN. Take the test, not the risk.
If you're craving Italian, have we got a deal for you? During Fazoli's $3.99 deal days, like Fazoli's Meatball Madness in a side garden salad, our famous pizza pasta sampler, or our double sliced pizza deal with a drink. Your choice, all for just $3.99. All day, every day. Deal days, now, only at Fazoli's. Now through July 31st, get 0% APR for 72 months on every new 2008 Hummer model. See your Hummer dealer today.
There are two types of baggage. There's the kind you leave far behind. And the kind you leave extra room inside for all those new shoes you'll buy. Start planning your Missouri getaway at visitmo.com.
This portion of the news brought to you by Comcast.
Well, good evening to you. It's been the water cooler talk among a lot of Colts fans today. Peyton Manning's knee surgery, as we told you first last night on News 8 at 10. The Colts quarterback had surgery yesterday because he had an infected bursa sac removed from his left knee. Now, Colts president Bill Polian says the procedure was routine, but Manning is expected to be out of action for the next 4 to 6 weeks, which means he's expected to miss training camp and most of the preseason. The Colts are saying tonight that Manning will be ready, though, for the opener against the Bears at home on September the 7th at Lucas Oil Stadium. All right, to basketball now, and a busy week for the Indiana Pacers, introducing 6 new players after Larry Bird's draft day deals were made official a week ago. Today, the 2 rookies, Kansas wing Brandon Rush and Georgetown big man Roy Hibbert, taking center stage today, meeting with the media today at Conseco Fieldhouse. Both said they're ready to work and should be able to step in and contribute right away in Jim O'Brien's system.
This is only the beginning, and this is a great organization, and we have a lot of work to do, and we're just going to get our feet in the ground and start working right away to help this team out as much as possible.
What can you offer this team?
Defense, being able to make plays, and playing on both ends of the court.
Well, moving to racing now. How about this? It's official. Paul Tracy, is back in IndyCar. The former Champ Car World Series champion is teaming up with Vision Racing, owned by Tony George and Walker Racing. Tracy will drive a 3rd Vision car, while Walker will provide the manpower. The ride is for only 1 race deal. Tracy will make his debut in next week's race in Edmonton, Canada. The winningest active driver in open wheel racing is just excited to have the opportunity to be back on the track.
This deal has really come about with the help of Tony and a great new sponsor on board. And, Derek and I want to be competitive. And that was one of the most important things to me was, I just don't want to be another car in a 27-car field. I want to have an opportunity to compete well.
It is a great opportunity to get Walker Racing and Paul Tracy a part of the 2008 season in an initial way, and hopefully it will grow into something more.
That's good stuff there. Good for IndyCar tonight. Meanwhile, for the 14th year, NASCAR driver Kyle Petty has teamed up with 200 motorcyclists to raise money for his Victory Junction Gang Camp. Now, Petty and his riders stopped by Indianapolis today on their way to Savannah, Georgia. Over the years, the charity ride has raised more than $10.5 million. We'll hear from Kyle tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock. Meanwhile, congratulations tonight to Indianapolis lawyer Jack Schwarbrick. A source close to the situation tells me tonight that Schwarbrick will be the new athletic director at Notre Dame. The announcement will take place tomorrow at 12:30. Schwarbrick played a huge role in bringing the men's Big Ten tournament to the city, as well as the Super Bowl in 2012, I should say. He's also a graduate of Notre Dame. Schwarbrick replaces Kevin White, who left to become Duke's new AD. So congratulations to him. And finally, some tennis for everyone. James Blake, the #1 seed, will be in action tonight at 7 o'clock, taking on Duty Sela. That's coming up tonight at 7 o'clock at the Indianapolis Tennis
Go James.
Center.
Go James.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Your Highness.
Yeah, right. Well, a police officer dragged by a car talks about his ordeal tonight on 24-Hour News 8 at 11 o'clock, who he credits for getting the driver to stop. Plus, a bear break-in caught on tape. What else the animal is accused of doing tonight? That's on 24-Hour News 8 at 11.
And we continue this evening at 10 on MyNDY Channel 23. At 11 o'clock, we are back here on Wish TV, and we're always on WishTV.com.
Excommunicated for creating a beefcake calendar. Church members dressing like this instead of this.
It's not pornography.
Do these pictures go too far? Next Inside Edition. Tuesday at 7 on Wish TV.